in terms of movies, we really didn't get a whole lot of movies announced, which I think is kind of interesting. But just because something isn't announced, such like the Boba Fett show, Book of Boba Fett, I really feel like a lot of stuff could still be in the works. They just are purposely holding back because we got the Rogue Squadron announcement, which seems like it has the potential to be pretty great. And then we do know of Taika Waititi's movie, which we really still know very little about, just that it's going to be different, which I feel like if there's anyone to bring their own twist in a good way to Star Wars, it would definitely be Taika. Especially, he's done work in Marvel. He directed season 1, episode 8 of The Mando, which pretty important episode,
That
pretty
was
awesome episode.
that was a great episode. Yeah.
So in terms of movie, I mean, we kind of have an idea for shows, is what I'm trying to say. In terms of movies, what do you think is possible, and what also are you hoping for?
Yeah, I mean, first, like I would say, probably the reason why they're focusing so much on shows is because Disney's just focusing on their streaming service right now. But in terms of movies, I would love to see them explore, like I said earlier, unexplored areas, especially in timeline wise in the Star Wars universe. And if they want to keep with the same timeline, I would love to see a Darth Vader standalone movie. I'll keep saying I want to watch a Darth Vader standalone movie till I die, if it never comes out. But yeah, I mean, I think many people have called for just kind of like something fresh away from the Skywalker saga in general. I think that it doesn't hurt to kind of go in uncharted territories, especially with the new creative minds now. Like you said, Taika Waititi's directing an untitled Star Wars film. I mean, he's a creative mind. Jon Favreau and Star Wars, Disney, like they're all like taking people from Marvel and like just using the same people who have proven success. So I completely trust them to try to do new things with Star Wars. Maybe try even new genres in their movies. Like with Mandalorian, we already see like a type of Western type of show. I love how they're bringing new genres into this space opera. So, just like new fresh takes. That's all I'm asking for. And, Star Wars content, any Star Wars content to me is good content.
Yeah, another thing, to go off of what you're saying about the Skywalker saga, I feel like for people that do have complaints about Star Wars, they always tell me, why are you focusing on this one family in this one particular time and this, I mean, pretty much infinite universe. I mean, there's so much to be explored. Right. And especially now that so much of Star Wars Legends and Expanded Universe is no longer technically canon, there's just so much open area to explore. And I really love that, Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, once again, they take from pre-existing lore that isn't technically canon, but then they bring it back and canonize it. So it's like, for instance, Dark Troopers, which if you knew nothing about Dark Troopers watching The Mandalorian, you would think, wow, these are pretty cool. But for people that knew what Dark Troopers were, that was even cooler. So I really do feel like to not trust, these creative minds coming from Marvel and all these other places, to kind of let them kind of take control of their own projects is almost a disservice to them, because if you kind of let them just explore, even within the Skywalker saga, there is so much. I don't even feel like you need to go in a linear path past, Return of the Jedi. The fact that the sequels were just after that, that's a pretty important time, I guess. But if they continue to go from episode 9 in a linear timeline, I'd still be for it, but I would be kind of doubting it, because I just feel like even within the Skywalker saga, there's so much to explore, which we see with The Mandalorian. I mean, after episode 6, you just are following, especially at first, it's a spaghetti Western, it's a random Mandalorian, and then it starts to become this Game of Thrones-esque show where, because of other additions to the Star Wars lore from the Clone Wars, from Rebels, it becomes this huge thing that kind of, in a way, may bridge the gap between 6 and 7. I'm kind of curious to see because they're going to eventually have to kind of address it. They can't completely ignore the sequels.
Yeah, and actually, I want to go back to comment on the Dark Troopers. Like, I think that's where the appreciation for Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau is just like exponentially increased, because of their showing of love and their showing of respect for all the old Star Wars comics, all the old Star Wars video games, and bringing back things, canonizing things. That truly shows them that they appreciate all the Star Wars fans, especially the truly passionate Star Wars fans out there. I mean, obviously, for the casual moviegoer or show watcher, it's just like a cool thing. But like you said, like bringing those things in just shows their appreciation of Star Wars, and that's what fans love. And those are the type of people who need to be at the head, making these creative decisions for these shows and movies.
Yeah, I think a big thing about the two of them is the two of them are Star Wars fans. They're not just random Hollywood directors that are just asked to come in and see this as a job. I mean, this is a passion for them. They're as big as fans as anyone else. So the fact that you have fans making the content really is kind of a perfect formula in this way. And if anything, yeah, they want to make something for the fans. But they really strike a good balance too, I feel like, by not being overly fan service. Another point I want to get into is, kind of hard to not talk about this, the season 2 finale of Mando. And people were complaining, oh, that's fan service. But I really feel that the way how they set up season 2, and there were questions of which Jedi would come, because there's Ezra, there's Cal Kestis from Jedi Fallen Order, which either one of them would have been cool, but they pretty much told this story in a way that anyone else besides Luke Skywalker really wouldn't have made sense to the story. It's all of season 2 really led to that moment at the end, and I feel like they told the story in such a good way that it feels like there's no other possibility at that point. You have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I mean, obviously it was fan service, sure, but I don't think it was like unnecessary fan service. And also like
that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, it makes sense in the storyline as well. Obviously it's yet to be seen like where Grogu goes, whether like he leaves the temple, when he leaves Luke's academy. But I think this was a special moment for a lot of Star Wars fans. Like I know a lot of people were emotional about Mark Hamill's cameo. And I know I was. Once I saw the X-Wing, I was like so hyped about it. But I mean, I don't think fan service is necessarily bad every single time. Like when I watched Endgame, yeah, that movie was full of fan service. It was like dedicated to the passionate Marvel fans. Was I mad about it? No. I mean, when I look back, I mean, I can see that they could have done better story-wise, but I appreciate all the fan service. I think fan service it's one way to show, again, their appreciation towards their fans, especially the passionate fans. So I had nothing wrong. I have nothing against the Luke Skywalker cameo.
Yeah, no, I feel like it made perfect sense. And one thing about fan service, I think, in the Mando in particular, is that it doesn't take much to get Star Wars fans excited. I mean, of course, Luke Skywalker is probably one of the biggest things they could have done, but just little, like, I remember, have you watched the Disney gallery for The Mandalorian?
I watched part of it on Disney Plus. Yeah, I watched part of it. Yeah.
I was just bringing that up because in the first season, when they're talking about the first season of the show, there's a whole episode where it's dedicated to like little Easter eggs, and nothing in the, like, I mean, of course there's a Darksaber and all, which is pretty awesome, but like little things, like almost like jokes or memes, like, and that's a thing, like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau pay such good attention that they can put in these little things which really don't affect the story and that most people may not even notice, but a real, like, some fans will see that, and it's just like the attention to detail like that really gets fans excited.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And just drawing parallels like the Marvel universe as well, like even like tiny picture frames from former movies, and then keeping that frame to keep like consistent setting, like those things, small things, like fans notice. Like we've noticed all these little Easter eggs, and of course with the plethora of YouTube videos that break down movies frame by frame, like that just shows appreciation of the art. So I mean, Easter eggs, huge. I think attention to detail, that just shows that that Filoni and Favreau are dedicated to what they're doing. and that's a big reason why we can actually trust them in being the creative gurus leading Star Wars universe.
I completely agree. And actually, pretty sad for the season finale. Joff and I used the same Disney Plus, and I was so excited. I pressed the episode, and it was like halfway watched, and I'm like, I'm gonna just rewind it. And I saw R2, so I already had it spoiled. That was on
Oh
me,
yeah.
but honestly, it barely took away from it. I mean, literally, seeing the X-wing fly in, seeing him go down the hallway, and Ludwig Göransson's score. I mean,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
yeah, all that combined, I mean, it really was amazing. And yeah, I mean, I'm super excited for season 3. I'm excited for the Book of Boba. For more videos from M2M, check out our other playlists.